Oh.
Can't figure it out?
Oh. Perfect. Thank you.
Ladies, there's water and Gatorade in the cooler. Powerade in the cooler.
Yes. Would you?
Yes, please. We don't need to record.
Okay.
But if you would just open up the. So you get a little wet.
I did.
How did that happen? Just make an opening statement and then we'll open up for questions.
Was that at any point you want me to get started, or is
Hold
there?
on. I need to identify you guys. You are.
I can get you one.
Cortney?
Yes. Oh, no.
Run
the other
on.
Cortney.
The other Cortney.
That one's Erin.
That's you? Perfect, thank you. The first one, so you know.
I got
It should be that last one then.
There we are. There, now we're ready.
You want me to
Go ahead.
go ahead?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of positives out there on the floor tonight, and it was a tremendous effort, especially when you consider how those first two sets looked for us. But we talked as a team, and this group understands what they're capable of and how quickly playing to who we are can flip a match. And it's happened before this season. It obviously happened tonight. But the hallmark of this team has been defense and blocking, and that was missing in those first two sets. A lot was missing in the first two sets. But ultimately, what turned it around, third set was offense. But we knew if we didn't correct what was happening defensively, that we weren't going to be able to extend the match. And I look at these numbers and I see in the fourth set, in the fifth set, we hold them under 100 hitting percentage, which again, as I mentioned, has kind of been the hallmark of our team and the reason for our successes. So the most proud of their consistency at the end and their ability to believe in what they can do. But certainly not surprised. We've got some special girls, and it's an honor to be out there and compete with them. And I was just so pleased that they could put themselves in that position.
Any questions for coach or players? Go Dennis.
Both players, that turnaround, when you're hitting negative the first two and beaten pretty soundly. The mindset, is it mindset or is it technical?
I feel like I just tell myself to keep swinging, like no matter what happens, and just like being smart. Courtney helps me a lot. She tells me like shots to hit.
Yeah, I think we know that we have the technique down. I mean, we've been playing for a very long time. So I think it's just a mindset thing and staying confident in ourselves and how we play.
Erin and Courtney, could you remember another volleyball match like this that had this type of emotion, or is this it?
We played UNF early in the season, University of North Florida, and it was also a reverse sweep. And I think that pretty much matched the effort and energy and just overall feel in the gym, the competitiveness that we played with.
Matt, was there a strategic difference that you did? Did you adjust anywhere?
I mean, we certainly made some changes, and that's the blessing of having the kind of depth that we have. You can see Claire Earl had an unbelievable impact on the outcome of the match after she came in. The energy she provided, not just energy, but execution level, shoring up our serve receive, and energy. And it just started to impact everybody else. And then you start thinking about the job the middles were doing, leading the blocking charge. It's all connected. But yeah, there were some tactical things, but ultimately I think what they needed to remember is who they are. That was the discussion before the match. Play to who you are. It took us a little bit to get there, but their belief in themselves is what ultimately put us in that position.
Talk about your blocking. It seemed to really pick up starting in like. that
Yeah, it looked
third
pretty rough in
set.
those first two sets. Yeah, I mean, that can flip a match really quickly. And that has flipped many matches for us this season. And again, I think part of it is establishing the rhythm, learning the rhythm from the opponents. We have never seen Texas Tech, so everything we're doing is based off of film. It's very different when you're out there. And so kind of calibrating, and then hopefully the serving allows us to do some tactical things that we're trying to do from the blocking standpoint. But really what it came down to is catching up to the speed that they were playing at, the speeds of the arm swings, the setup, and we started to find that middle of third set.
You've had about 10 minutes to soak this up. Any thoughts about what awaits you tomorrow?
You know, no, not really. I mean, we're going to have a late night, the coaching staff, and we're going to do everything we can to put ourselves in a position. This is a great opportunity. So you do everything you can to take advantage of that opportunity. So what we have to do, and the job that we have, is to prepare these girls as best we can in a very short turnaround. And we'll do exactly that, and they'll be ready to go. We know how talented Wisconsin is. We know what a storied tradition they have here. It is an honor to play in an environment like this. And really one of the things that was driving us as a staff is we really wanted, of course, these girls to win this matchup, but the prize at the end is getting to play tomorrow night in front of these fans and getting to experience something that's just phenomenal for the sport of volleyball.
Coach, was there any specific player after that second set who brought the team together and encouraged the team to?
Yeah, like I said, I think the spark plug was Claire, but I think it is the maturity and poise of all of our players. I really don't think it came down to a single person, and I don't think it would have happened if we were leaning on just one person. I think what these two did, turning around their games from sets 1 and 2 to 3, 4, and 5, was just remarkable. And I mean, in terms of serve receive, we were all over the place in those first 2 sets, and then it cleaned up. Both of them, all of our left sides, we just didn't have an answer. We weren't scoring. And eventually that turned around, and it was aggression, and it was trusting the things that you have been working on throughout an entire career. So yeah, that was the difference, was the team. And we're blessed to have a really deep team that allows us to tinker when things aren't going perfect.
Anything else for future players? All right.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Don't worry about the butt sweat.
I was gonna say, I just seen this before.
Yes, they have to. Mandatory.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Glad you're here. Great footage.
Yes, it's gonna be amazing.
Nice job with the stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's water, guys, or Gator or Powerade if you need anything. There's a water in consideration.
No, I think we're.
You just want to make the opening statement and then we'll take questions.
Sure. Great match by Gulf Coast. Congratulations to them. Disappointing, obviously, for us. I don't know, it's a weird match. We played about perfect the first 2 sets, and then you can feel them start to figure some things out. They got their serve receive really going, and it was really tough for us to score off our serve for the second half of the match. And by the time we got to the fifth, they had so much momentum, there was just no slowing them down. But really proud of our team and what we've done to get here. No question about that, and just recover and move on.
Questions for coach or players? Do you got anything?
Yeah, I have some questions from some people back home. So from Carlos Silva with the AJ, we have how important was Ken at the service line, specifically in that first set?
Yeah, we got off to a great start, and block was really going well. I think our serving was just exactly what it needed to be, and it wasn't just Ken, but we did get a couple of really nice rotations where we were just able to score. And like I said, they got it shut down. They figured it out.
And in those first few sets, how were you able to get Florida Gulf Coast swing out of system?
Yeah, they started off a little bit high error, and obviously we took advantage of it. We got a nice lead, and then just was able to finish it out. And like I said, it was just a gradual shift of momentum. Obviously, the third set was critical, and that was the one where we were trying to close it out. And as soon as they got it done, you could just feel a big surge on their side, and it just was too tough for us to overcome.
How did you try to slow them down after that kind of momentum switch?
Yeah, it's really just about slowing the points down on our side and not overdoing it, not over trying, just relaxing and just staying point by point and not getting too caught up in things. But easier said than done, and they were just in a place where everything they did was working, and so it was just I don't know, we did everything we could, and I just felt like once they got it turned on, they were really tough.
Was there any specific adjustments you felt like they made in those later sets?
No, I really just felt like they got their serve receive going, and they were able to get all their options. Their middles got a little bit more involved, and then their pins, I thought they were just swinging big and just working off our block, and that was it. They were really fearless, and they just stayed really aggressive. In the beginning, we were blocking those balls, and by the fourth and fifth set, they were using our block, and so they stuck with their game plan and just started just working our hands a little bit.
For you, Tony, and for both of y'all, but even with the way it ended, this was obviously a historic season for Texas Tech volleyball. So how do you feel about this team in the future you have, and kind of maybe having this monkey off your back of, okay, now you've been here and you have a little taste of that, and how you're going to use that going forward?
Sure, I'll let you guys.
I mean, I really don't think I could.
You're right, it was big just getting here. I feel like it stings a lot because we know how good we are, so we just expected it to go our way, and it didn't. But we have shown ourselves and just everyone else watching that we're supposed to be here, and we'll be back. We're gonna get in the gym and work, and this won't be like the last time that we'll be safe.
Yeah, I don't think I can say enough just about this program and the way they do things. I've really never been in a more positive and just nurturing environment where I feel like there's so much room to grow for everybody. And I think what everybody doesn't see is the girls who have been here for 4 years, or Tony coming in when this team was 0-16. I think that deserves a lot of recognition, and this is what you see today, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to get us here. And I guess all I would say going forward is that I would put a lot of money on us next year. We're gonna be really good, and we're gonna keep it together.
Anything else?
What has helped to build that positive and nurturing locker room within that team?
Players like these two to start, just players that bought in, and were the older players, they were okay with the grind, and they knew that there was going to be when you're in the Big 12, you've got to catch people. Nobody falls back to you. And so, that's hard. And there's a lot of close calls and setbacks, and you got to be really tough and have a lot of grit. And so that to me is where this all started, the seniors that we have right now and just how we built around them and what they brought every day and how resilient they were. And then it was transfers like Kenna and Reagan, Kennedy and Alex and Tatum that have filled great roles for us and have kind of just meshed so well. Unbelievable what a player like Kenna has done in one season, just to switch positions and just establish yourself and first team all Big 12. I mean, it's crazy what Kenna has done for us. And I would say the same thing about Carrington. This is her first season truly healthy for us, and just to see her go from start to finish. And I'm loving that they're coming back. We got a great group coming back, and we're gonna be ready.
It did feel like a lot of the players that were playing this season really were playing in different positions maybe than they had ever played before, or just something they had recently switched to. So how does that feel as a positive going into next year? Is now they have a lot more experience in that area?
Yeah, no question. We saw Brooke do, that was the primary player. She went from a pin to the middle and did such a good job. But Kenna was in the middle last year at Mizzou, and to see what she did as a pin. So yeah, we've got some versatility, and we'll just keep building on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on first season, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Stop.